Welcome to The Explainer. You know that heart-stopping moment on the road, right? That near miss that makes you grip the wheel and wonder how you're still in one piece? Well, today we're going to dive into a first-hand account of that exact chaos, where the only thing standing between a normal day and a total disaster is just pure, dumb luck.
Okay, so let's just kick things off with a core idea from our source material. Roads are not your personal stage. They're built to get us from point A to point B, not for putting on a show. It sounds so simple, right? But it's something we seem to forget way too often.
And yeah, they're definitely not the place to freestyle for an audience that, let's be honest, never even asked for a ticket. When we treat the road like one, the difference between a safe trip and a catastrophe gets measured in inches, in heartbeats. So, what does happen when luck is the only thing keeping us all safe? In this explainer, we're going to break down some of those real-life moments where luck was working overtime, and, well, safety was just kind of watching from the sidelines. First up, paddling in traffic. It sounds kind of harmless, doesn't it? But as we're about to see, a simple mismatch between a rider and their vehicle can turn a totally routine stop into a recipe for disaster. So here's the scene. We've got an electric scooter, a busy city intersection, pretty standard stuff. But then you get to the what? An unstable rider, and that's where the whole system just starts to fall apart.
Picture this. The light turns green, traffic starts moving, and all of a sudden this delivery rider is just wobbling. The scooter is way too tall. Their feet are scrambling trying to find the ground. They're not being aggressive, they're just completely out of control, tipping right towards the car's bonnet.
And this is what our source calls paddling in traffic. It's not about being a speed demon or anything like that. It's about a basic, fundamental lack of control that can turn a simple traffic stop into a really, really dangerous situation.
And let's be super clear here. This close call was avoided by sheer luck and the driver's quick reaction. The rider's skill, it didn't even factor in, because they couldn't even manage the bike when it was standing still.
I mean, it got so absurd that our source author literally started singing a little road safety jingle to himself. It's a funny detail, but it just highlights how we often forget the most basic rules of the road, doesn't it?
So, we've gone from a rider who can't control their bike at a standstill to the complete opposite end of the spectrum. People who think they have a bit too much control. This brings us to the overtaking gamble, or as our source puts it, the Chopri ride. That reckless, show-off style of driving that puts everyone at risk.
The scene for this one is a winding service road, just a series of S-curves where every single move counts. One mistake here doesn't just cause an accident, it sets off a whole domino effect. Okay, here's the breakdown. You've got an auto waiting to turn. Our source's car is making a perfectly legal pass. Then, out of nowhere, a motorcycle with the passenger illegally cuts across a solid line to overtake them. And to top it all off, they nearly slam into another biker coming from the opposite direction. It's 4 vehicles, all on one collision course.
This quote just says it all. You might think that move is cool, you might even think it's brave. But you know what a traffic investigator calls it? Avoidable. Just plain stupid and completely avoidable. 4 lives were put at risk for a quick moment of style. And if you think that's bad, get this. The very next day, on a major highway, it happens again. 2 close calls in less than 60 seconds. First a bike squeezes by, then a car swerves in, both forcing our source's vehicle to the absolute brink.
1 inch. That's how much space the motorcycle rider left. I mean, just think about that. A single inch. One tiny mistake, one little gust of wind, and that's it. It's all over.
So, after all these heart-stopping moments, what have we learned? Well, it all really comes down to this. You simply cannot build a safe driving system on a foundation of luck. It just doesn't work.
When you put all of these stories together, a pretty clear pattern starts to show up. There's no respect for lanes, reckless overtaking has become the norm, you've got riders on bikes they can't handle, and a whole culture that values showing off way more than just being predictable and safe.
And this right here, this is the core idea of this whole explainer. Luck is a gamble. It's totally unreliable. A system, on the other hand, is predictable, it's proactive, and it's based on skill. Luck runs out. A system is sustainable. The choice, well, it should be obvious.
As our source says, these near misses, they're not just funny stories you tell later. They're warnings. They are free lessons that we need to learn from, because one of these days, our luck is absolutely going to run out. So what's the solution here? It's simple, really. Be predictable. When you're predictable, you're safe, and everyone around you is safer. Respect the lanes, respect the other drivers, and hey, if you value life, maybe start by valuing your own.
And that's all for this explainer. We'll just leave you with this question from our source to think about next time you're out on the road. Thanks for joining us.